What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. Nadeska here with Akademiks and Wayno, a very, very tan Akademiks. Glad you made it back from Puerto Rico. What's good, guys?
Fuck what y'all talking about. I only got one thing to say, man. No spoilers for Avengers Endgame. I'm gonna see it today or tomorrow. I'm hyped for it. I want to hear who lives or who dies. Wayne already seen it.
It's Monday. You still ain't go see this shit yet?
It came out Friday?
Came out Thursday.
I didn't go see it over the weekend because I assume it was going to be way too much niggatry.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
He was
when
out the
people are
country.
mass rushing to somewhere, I like when it's kind of cool down. It's cool down. I'm going to go see it.
You guys like our new set, though? We got some minor updates.
Yeah.
A little
shit.
facelift here.
Yeah.
No one's impressed?
I like it. Looks nice in here. I mean,
Tough
They
crowd.
appreciate
got
us
the
a little
goofy
bit.
niggas act hype.
You feel me? I feel like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I've seen all this shit on other niggas' shows and it's moved it.
All right. All right. Well, shout out to the
Like, them
studio
niggas
crew.
ain't coming back, so they're like, all right, take
they've
it.
been working
I went
hard.
to the complex office in LA too. When I was in LA for a few days.
Oh, word?
Such a good employee.
Hey, listen, I just pulled up to say what's up. They got a nice picture of us up on the wall.
Oh,
For
really?
real?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it myself.
Like, a good picture?
It's the same picture we got.
That's the only picture we have
The only
anywhere.
picture we got of ourselves.
Oh, man.
Oh,
We'll
guys,
see.
I finally took my road test.
Oh,
Passed it.
you passed your own
Bodied that
Grown
parallel
ass woman
parking.
who just got your
I
took
know,
it?
it took me like 40 years, huh?
You took it here?
Yeah, I took it in Red Hook out in Brooklyn.
Wow.
On those narrow ass streets. I was good though.
So this you passed on the first time?
Yeah, first time.
I failed 2 times. I passed on my third. And I cursed out my instructor. That's why I passed.
But you gotta realize though, like Nadeska got a self-driving car that like got all the mirrors and
Here
shit
we
like
go
that.
with
For
the
real,
bullshit.
like,
All right, y'all.
do you really like pass your test or does the car pass for you?
Damn Akademiks. All right, let's
Backhanded compliments.
So we've been gone for 2 weeks. Let's see if we can run through some of the things that we missed quickly. So we had some predictions before we left, right? Like over, under. I believe one of them was Yandi. When are we gonna get this album? We still have no idea, but Kanye did bring his Sunday service to Coachella. He debuted a new song called Water that neither of you guys heard, so we cannot talk about this song. But the interesting news is, guys, he is reportedly considering starting his own church so he could bring music and spirituality under one roof. So a source close to him told people, like this is not confirmed, but they said that it wouldn't be a traditional 3 hymns and a sermon thing. Instead, it would be a way to point people to Jesus through the arts and through a community of people who love and care for each other. Would you guys worship at the altar of Ye?
Well, not me personally because of my faith. But at the same time, I don't have anything bad to say about Kanye. I'm going to leave Kanye alone when it comes to bad things to say about this man. I want to give him a chance. I would like to give Kanye a chance.
Nigga ran into one of them Yeezy disciples, man.
No, I didn't. The only thing I thought was really
You
weird.
would throw that nigga to the wolves.
The only thing I thought was really weird was the church merch. You know what I mean? Like
Why, you don't want to spend $220
Nah, I'm
on a
not
sweater?
buying- I'm not buying
God
that.
would love that though, I think.
See, here you go. So look, right?
Y'all wildin' for even the sarcasm we
What
got. I don't like none of this nonsense. I gotta be honest. Guys, I'm holding down from here. I don't like none of this nonsense.
No.
I did hear that song too. Go ahead.
Yeah, but with Kanye, like I think that he's in a good place spiritually, right? I do.
Why you
I'm
don't
not
cut
being,
the bullshit? It's
I'm not-
Monday.
no, I think he's in a real good place spiritually, but I'm for real. I don't want to joke about this. I'm
Okay.
serious. I really don't want to joke about this.
All
I
right.
really feel like that he's finding himself because he's not just being quiet, but he's just been staying more to himself and doing this. It seems like it's kind of therapeutic for him, for real. As long as he's not saying crazy shit about politics, I'm cool with that. If that's gonna keep him away from politics, I'm all for it.
I ain't gonna lie. I think this is crazier than politics. I treat my faith
Really?
more serious
Religion
than
is
politics.
pretty important to a lot
I
of
ain't
people.
gonna lie to you.
It is,
Trump and them
but-
niggas gonna do whatever they gonna do, but a nigga starts singing in the choir for like 3 weeks and now he wanna have a church? Like, nah, we're not rocking with that, baby. No, I don't like this at all. Honestly, I think
That's crazy.
his spirituality comes back to his natural flaws, which is he's pretty narcissistic. Like, you know what I mean? I think he wants to make that whole thing about him. You know what I mean? Like, and also the church that he's trying to do, it's like some celebrity driven, like, yo, let's invite only Scientology bullshit.
Come
yeah,
on.
we not rocking
It's-
with that.
That's no different than any other any other big church. All these big churches have are very celebrity driven and shit. All I'm saying is if it keeps him, if it's making him happy, if it's making him happy and in turn he's making other people happy, fine. Now I don't think that you should have merch there.
You think he's gonna debut Yandi at
I
church?
don't like
I don't think we're ever getting that out.
I don't like the aesthetic of this shit. A nigga who made a song said, I am God. Nigga had an
also made
album
Jesus
called
Walks.
Yeezus. Yeah, that was a different Ye. Okay, we talking about this new Kanye nigga, okay? This nigga made a song basically proclaiming to be God. He had a whole album calling himself Jesus, and to be honest, like if you've just seen the symbolism that he's been using ever since, it's basically saying that he is one of the gods. Okay, so when he's having a church, I need to know who he's worshiping and who the people who's coming there are going to be worshiping too. This seems like something that someone who's really into himself and who is low-key trying to start a cult would do.
Oh, come on, Act. Come on,
All right,
Act.
now I feel like I just have to say, again, this is all
What?
reportedly. Once you're
Yeah,
getting into
come on.
cult
You think he's starting a
territory,
fucking cult?
just saying.
He's not starting a cult, nigga. He's just trying to have a church so he can have some fun.
Kanye
You think he's
invited
starting
me to a low-key cult, nigga.
No.
We not playing with
that
him.
came out wrong. I don't think he started a church so he could just have fun. I'm thinking he's starting a church.
Have fun. Yo,
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 listen.
Wayno's trying so hard to be reasonable. Let him rock.
I'm trying to be reasonable here because I would like to give Kanye the benefit of the doubt. He's been through a lot of stuff in the past year. He's been through a whole lot. And you would sit here and say that he's starting a cult? That's ridiculous. He's one of your favorite artists. He's the, all right, he did make I'm a God and all that.
He is the most self-absorbed artist in fucking history.
He is, but so is a lot of fucking pastors and
So do I
self-absorbed too.
think the same person who would co-sign a person for president who may go against some of the social like issues and beliefs that hurts his own people would probably co-sign a church that is surrounded around just like praising him? Yes, nigga, it's going
He didn't say it was praising him. What are you talking
Bro,
about?
I'm just telling you what I
You think it's gonna be for praising him? Listen, niggas supported Bishop Eddie Long Church, and he was a horrible person at the end of the day. So I'm not going to, listen, let the nigga start the church and see how it go. Don't just say, oh, the nigga trying to start a cult. You really turn it into something else.
All right, so Wayno is a supporter of the Church
Are
of
you-
Jesus.
I'm not going to go as far to say I'm a supporter of the church. I'm a supporter of the man's happiness. If
And
he's
his
found happiness through
spirituality
God.
through arts and community, right?
If it's spirituality, because you want to know what, and I'll say this because I'm a Muslim, but I have gone to church before when I was a kid, and you know what I didn't like about church? I felt like the church was like very picking on people. Like I felt it was very segregated due to people's race, because when a white person worked in there, it was like, oh, here's the white person in a black church, or when a Spanish person, they always define it by race or what somebody was wearing. If people could come there and worship and
Do you
leave
think there's going to
happy,
be a dress code for the Church
See, y'all
of
playing, man.
Jesus?
Y'all playing. I'm being dead ass. Like, y'all playing.
I'm being serious too. Like,
What?
I really look at this move, if he's doing it, right? We are speculating.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't believe, I'm more concerned about this than anything he's ever said about politics.
Really?
Because I don't believe, even though I think maybe his spirituality, and it might be good for him personally, I don't think this is good for people who would be joining to actually praise God. Okay, if you're looking to strengthen your faith in God, I don't think this is a place to.
That's messed up, Act.
What you mean that's messed
That's
up?
messed up,
This
nigga.
nigga hasn't shown us anything else. He's literally low-key flirting
He
with
ain't do nothing-
blasphemy
What?
every fucking album. So I don't want this nigga leading the church. Or no church that I would go to send my, well, I ain't got no kids. Send my homies
You
or
know
anybody.
more about Kanye than you know your average pastor. You do.
You're right. What that gotta mean?
I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying.
I know
he
more
hasn't
about
done
R.
nothing
Kelly
wrong.
than I know more. All
right. All
right, let's go to-
Like, he's
yeah,
a
let's-
celebrity, so you know what I mean. Like, you're gonna know a lot about him.
Yeah.
Don't mean I want that nigga preaching.
All right, man. We'll see.
Thank you guys for trying to have a serious debate about this topic. I couldn't do it. Appreciate y'all. Next.
Let's go.
Next.
Get baptized in some Yeezys, man. Like,
That's what
get
I'm
outta
saying.
here,
It's gonna
bro.
be about selling Yeezys.
Why you can't get baptized in Yeezys? So what's the problem? You have to wear white in order to get baptized? You have to wear shoes?
You think someone could show up to his church wearing Nike and it's cool?
Yeah. Come on, yo. You can't think that he gonna go that far, yo. You think
All right,
that he gonna go that far and be like,
And-
you got Nikes? Come on, yo. Come on. Get, like, come on.
By the
Don't
way,
do
I
that.
do want to be fair too. You know,
What?
like I want to salute his efforts and really mostly his wife efforts. She's gradually like kind of morphing into a humanitarian. She's seeming like she's trying to help out people and selflessly doing that. So I want to praise her efforts. If that maybe is a sentiment that is kind of like flowing on to Kanye with him trying to start his own church, cool. But also to be clear, I'm not co-signing no nigga having no church when I've only seen him sing a couple hymns. I've never seen a nigga pray. I've never seen a nigga collect tithe. How we know this nigga really running a church, bro?
All
I
right,
don't know.
y'all. Look, like we said, it's all reportedly. Maybe this is not even a thing, but we just.
Wayno gonna be there.
I know he is.
Yeah,
He's
Wayno
gonna be
just
there
want a secret
supporting it.
invitation, yo. Hoping he get a Yeezy drop at the church ceremony.
Yo.
Yo, you're
Alright.
horrible.
So I think when we left, we did an over/under on Kodak. What was it about? How many beefs he might get into,
Yeah,
or what he
beefs.
might say, right? Because we were saying that maybe if he's just quiet for a bit, things would be good. But anyway, so a few days after T.I. called him out for some questionable comments, he did release a diss track called Expeditiously. Obviously, one of T.I.'s favorite words. Shots at Tip, Game, Gilly the Kid, even T.I.'s wife, Tiny. I think we have a little code card here. We can't play the snippet. Maybe Akademiks, you can indulge us. I cannot read this.
Okay, so
Kodak's
this is from
voice.
Kodak Black's. This is one on the screen, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Expeditiously, nigga. He said, young niggas sticking to the code because I don't condone snitching. I ain't going out like that rapper. I don't do no tipping. When he says my name on the TV, that's a bold witness. On the news, see the tip. That boy got no feelings. They say the game stripping. Old heads ain't hitting on nothing. I said them boys kidding.
All right, look, AK, you have no flow either.
right.
But thank you for that.
Kodak don't write his shit? Like, could you
mean he
imagine
don't write
Kodak writing? Like actually like writing?
Oh, okay. He
Oh, like,
just
right.
goes
Yeah,
off the
Kodak
top.
just kind of like his, yeah.
Anyway, T.I. did not respond to this.
Shouldn't.
Guess he did not have the time.
But this was a response to T.I. though, because T.I. was kind of previewing a verse on one of like Namir's songs, which we didn't hear come out yet. And I think, Kodak is like, no, I'll drop a whole video of this in you. What's up?
So, were you impressed?
I like it. I like that he's rapping. The disrespect was definitely overt. I've seen T.I. swing on Floyd Mayweather Jr. over his wife. So if I'm anybody, I would caution speaking on Tiny. But he felt disrespected enough. And by the way, this issue has kind of devolved and gone way beyond where it started, which was Nipsey Hussle and Lauren London. It's really at this point about, hey, I'm not gonna allow you to check me online. You're not gonna little nigga me. Or, hey, listen, you need to get put in your place, right? The song, I like it as a diss song. I'm just hoping it doesn't get too far, which I don't think it will.
It's already gone too far.
Well, I mean, physically and violently.
Yeah, I mean, I of course we would hope it doesn't go there, but I think it's already crossed the line of disrespect because, all right, like, I think just Kodak is very talented, but he just can't, I don't know if he sees wrong within himself. I don't think at the root of this problem, it was just how he spoke on the situation with Lauren. Like you said, locker room talk, certain shit is said behind closed doors. If he felt like that and we never heard it, fine. But knowing that he know that he's on Instagram Live, he know that he's saying things like, even though he said, oh, I didn't say it like that, he know how he said it. And it's like now you want to lash out and rap against other people where he said that, like, the way he's talking, he not on no rap shit. I just didn't foresee him making a diss song about this whole thing. It's kind of confusing to me. But I don't think T.I. should respond to this any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, Tiny seemed cool. She made jokes and brushed it off.
Yeah, because you know what? Another thing is like when T.I. looks at a Kodak, not that he sees exactly himself, but he sees like the bullshit of himself that he had in his life at one point in time, looking at a Kodak. So it's like, why I'm gonna even entertain this?
Yeah.
But
I did say though, remember my first thing when Kodak started, he said the thing about Lauren or whatever. The thing I always say is, who's gonna check Kodak? And honestly, Kodak got canceled, then reinstated. Kodak was canceled for a good 3 days. Like, that's why I hate this cancel culture online. They canceled him, and as soon as like he dropped the song, they loved him again. He got locked up. It was free Kodak. So again, it's one of those things. I will say I heard a good point being made, which, of course, Kodak was wrong. But I do think, you know how stubborn street dudes are. You got to approach them a certain way. The way that T.I. did approach him was a little bit abrasive. You approached him as if, hey, listen, I want to take it there. When you start with the tone and you're saying shit like, yo, if I see you, I'm going to say it to your face. Again,
Expeditiously.
A young dude might not take that like, okay, you know what? Yeah, he's just saying he means it. So he might take it a different way, like, okay, he's saying he's on some type of shit that I don't have a problem being on as well. So not defending Kodak, but I could see why there's you can't see the point of de-escalation because you're not gonna expect Kodak to be like, yo, I'm gonna be the bigger man. You're gonna expect that from T.I.
Well, I think Kodak should have just kept it. He did apologize. You know what I mean? He did apologize. I think it should have just been left right there. But I also believe that like social media and who you're around pressures you into doing shit that you might not really want to do. Now, he could rap, but it's like I'm not looking for him and T.I. to have no rap battle. And then when you start bringing in people kids and they wife and all types of other shit, it's like you talking on a whole nother level. You know, I think he should have just left it as what he said, because end of the day, he apologized. T.I. said, yo, correct that expeditiously. Yeah. And he said, after he felt the pressure of it, he said, you know what, if y'all think that I said something, even though I didn't say, however he did it, he apologized. Now, then he wants to defend himself after the fact, so it's very contradicting, and I just don't know how to take him.
Yeah, now social media is kind of, it matters in this. And I was hearing Cardi B while she was going at the Shade Room for like the millionth time. She was like, blogs kind of fuel this. And I don't really just think it was just blogs. I just think it's the internet. You can't put shit out on the internet. Like I heard him explaining on live. This was not even, so it's not even blogs. This is him on live like he is all the time. And his fans were getting at him like, yo, why you apologize? Yo, you making Florida look bad apologizing. Now this is his own fans.
That's crazy.
So now he has to clarify, yeah, I apologize to Lauren London, but everybody else I told you I wouldn't smoke with. And then you got to double down with. So again, unfortunately, social media is driving, which I keep telling y'all, Instagram Live and Kodak Black will just not end well.
Right.
It will not.
Well, he also had some legal issues while we were off, unfortunately. So he got arrested while trying to cross the border back into the States. They found guns and weed in his car, so he was facing some criminal charges. They did let him out, though, and then allegedly his tour bus got raided a few days later. A lot is going on with him. But he also debuted a new hairstyle that the internet really seemed to love. Did you guys like this?
What
The
did
yellow
you
hair?
think about the hairstyle?
Hey, play into the jokes and the memes about you anyway. You get me? Like, it's, people call him, is it Lisa Simpson or Mark Simpson? Which one?
Calling him
Lisa.
Super Saiyan,
Yeah.
calling him all types of shit.
Yeah, so you play into it. As far as his legal situation, I think they should have arrested Siri too, because they gave him bad directions that he made the left turn into Canada.
Oh,
He would
right,
have
that
never
was
got
his
arrested.
excuse. Okay.
For real. He was following GPS, he took him into Canada. Apparently someone educated me the quickest way from Detroit to Boston, you have to go through Canada. He didn't know. And
Wait. They really they was going to Boston, and he tried to take Canada to go to Boston.
yeah,
I mean, that is Canada's right next to Detroit. It's right there. But
apparently, like the quickest route, you pass through it for a little bit.
but nobody knows that it's not like you should not go through Canada if you don't have to go through Canada.
Yeah,
The thing about Canada is, you know, if you go to, I got stuck at the border before. If you go and you're not supposed to be there, they don't just let you leave. Like, you be stuck I was stuck at the fucking border for 5 hours, just sitting there. And he tried to go through.
Now. He knows now.
No, see, this is what I have a problem with. Them niggas is making too much money to make these type of errors.
No, well, that's my problem with like those issues, because I remember him being in jail and we kind of covered like some of his tweets and some of the stuff like that. Like he was tweeting about like, yo, he need to make changes around himself and the people around him. Like when I hear he gets arrested, and you manage artists, right?
Yeah.
Say you manage an artist, a big artist like Kodak Black, has an entourage this and third. Is Kodak driving from Boston or Detroit to Boston, or are you gonna have a driver?
Oh no, you should definitely have a driver.
Kodak was driving.
You lying? He was
But
driving.
you think he really, really was
He
driving?
was driving
though?
the bus?
No, they were in an Escalade followed by other cars, and he was driving the Escalade. He was driving the boat.
You lying?
He's
yo.
driving the bus.
I can't believe this nigga was actually driving the car.
Bro,
he was driving the car.
He was driving it.
Would it usually be someone in your entourage driving you, or you have
mean,
like, a
if you-
designated like a limo
Listen,
driver?
the
type
artist
shit?
should never. The artist should never be driving the fucking vehicle. The artist should never be driving the vehicle. And that's what I'm saying. These niggas is making too much money for an error like that to happen. Like, why is the artist driving the fucking vehicle? That's insane.
And that's what I said. That was the first thing that struck
But they
me.
on a bus though. They not.
But no, they send the tour bus. Like I think the tour bus has like the other guys performing on tour, but they have multiple cars. I don't know. For whatever
not
reason,
on the
he was
tour.
driving. He was driving the Escalade, and that just struck me as weird because I just can't imagine. Just imagine anybody, right? Like say Meek is going, or say Meek, we'll talk about it later, going to Canada or something like that. Meek is
He
driving
ain't
the
driving
tour
a fucking car. What
Hey.
the fuck? If that was the fastest way, he should have just flew with like his day-to-day manager and let them niggas drive there.
Hey, man.
Wow. All right.
I
Says a lot.
just look at that and I say, I hope they're realizing what he's been through, what's at stake, and the momentum they got now that you don't want to fuck it up.
Of course they don't.
Right. All right. Hopefully he stays out of trouble and like these charges like really don't come back to haunt him. In the meantime, Lil Nas X, so Old Town Road, still doing very well. Has been a #1 for about 3 weeks straight. And according to Billboard, the song has actually broken Drake's record for the most U.S. streams in 1 week, 143 million in the week ending April 20th, which is crazy. So Drake's In My Feeling previously had 116.2 or something like that. But not everyone is feeling it. So a few days after Billboard reported this, Dave East got on Instagram Live to share his thoughts on the song. He said, it's whack. Don't know what the fuck is going on with hip hop and rap. I'm not a hater, but it's just super whack. The capital on it. The cape on it. Anyway.
Honestly, like, here's the funny thing. When Davey said it, you can't start off the disclaimer, yo, I ain't no hater or nothing like that, and then just follow with a bunch of like semen hate. I don't think he meant to really hate on this song, but I do believe he was confused why it's kind of getting embraced within the culture. And if he probably had a little bit more knowledge, again, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Right? Because I want to say, the easiest thing to say is that, yo, Dave East isn't as success. He never had #1 record, so he's hating on his kid. I think he's probably saying, yo, why everybody in hip-hop like just embracing the shit like that? And if he would realize that, yo, it's a black kid who made a song that seemingly is a country song, not getting the love, of course, they're going to say, hey, you're black, so that's hip-hop already. So hip-hop is embracing the song and embracing the fact that someone who you would normally think would make hip hop music is kind of like making music outside of the box. That's one of the reasons why it's being embraced. So him saying it's whack, I think was a little bit, he didn't understand why.
Well, it's being embraced because of the story of the song. I mean, when we first talked about the story, it was, yo, some little black kid made a country song and they took it off the country charts. And then Billy Ray Cyrus jumps on it in his defense, and then it gets added, and that and it's blown up. I think that the story is actually a little bit more exciting than the actual song. But when you look at streams, well, I'm not just gonna say specifically streams, but who listens to music the most? Kids. Kids love the song, whether it's country, whether it's rap, they just really, really like the song. And a lot of kids are listening to the song. I know a lot of people would like to believe that it's just like hip hop embracing the record, but it's not so much that. It's a lot of kids liking the song. It's a lot of people. Billy Ray Cyrus being on your song is gonna add a lot to it. So that's the reason why the song is so big. And I mean, salute to that young man. Like, hopefully if he does the right things off of this one record, he'd be set for life.
And I can understand why Dave East would think it's whack though, like, because I've pointed out that the song is a parody record. So if you listen to, and Davies is a lyricist, right? So I could imagine, again, I'm only guessing, if he's listening to the song and hearing some of the lines that, again, are kind of a little bit parody based, you know, lean on my bladder, some, like certain things, like he could probably be like, yo, this is what it is. Now, again, that might also explain the fact why he hasn't had #1 song though, because rather than those lyrics being clever, it's a good song melodically.
Right.
You get me? So
Yeah, it's just a song. I mean, the thing, end of the day, is just like, when it comes to like making music, most of the biggest records are records that people enjoy on a vast scale. And a lot of those records are things that's like, not just, I think that Lil Nas X is just not one thing. Like, the song is very wide range. What nobody's really talking about is, we talking about country music and all that, but you gotta look at just everything that's going on with entertainment. Look at Red Dead Redemption, right? Red Dead Redemption is a game that's like Grand Theft Auto, but it's a Western, right? Look at the show Westworld. Look at like all of these different factors into why this kid might have made a country themed song. And he's just having fun with it. So I salute it. I mean,
like I said, fun story.
but I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's my favorite song, because it's not. Remember when we was talking about this shit, I'm like, I'm not really
It's not
big
gonna go
on the
down
record.
in history as like a classic record, but
Yeah,
it's a
it's-
fun song for now.
It's
Nah,
cool,
that
like
shit classic. That should go down in history.
it's definitely going down in
It
history,
just
but
broke the records. Of course it's going down in
When I
history.
say classic, I'm talking about if we're talking about like in rap history, like lyricism, guys, not like
So
as
in
a
rap-
parody song that was like very popular.
Hey, Lil Nas, when he responded, say he don't give a fuck about Davies things.
Yeah.
I think that response, even though it sounded disrespectful, was probably the right response because I think Davies' crowd and that Lil Nas Old Town Road song type of crowd, two different crowds.
Yeah.
Two different demographics.
I mean, he don't got time to worry about
and-
what somebody thinks. Like he doesn't
And
like.
everybody doesn't have to like everything.
Yeah.
You get
Everybody
me?
don't like everything.
You could like again, Lil Pump music. He's doing pretty decent or good, like in his demographic. Why you don't want to hear that shit?
It's like I like maybe 2 Little Pump songs, but I have to. Them shits just gotta come on if I'm driving and I like it. I'm not gonna go turn that shit on. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that the biggest part, the biggest part of everything is like okay. It's not like he dropped this album and everybody's like, this is the new wave. The only way you're gonna be successful is if you do country rap. It's a song.
Yeah.
Songs come and go. What's gonna be very interesting about Lil Nas X is to see what else he can do. Because remember, I told you when we looked at his SoundCloud a couple weeks ago,
not country.
he don't rap like that. Like that's not his. He raps regular. Like his shit is regular, like trap sounding type of music.
Yo,
So to see if he could do it again is gonna be interesting.
He's flirting with a rock song right now that he previewed, and people are saying he's a Thanos of just music. He did country, he's about to do rock, he's gonna do hip hop down the road, he's gonna do gospel, and honestly, like, I really think this is Designer 2.0, honestly. So we'll see.
Designer.
What do you mean by that?
2.0.
You have that one big hit, and you could, because I think
Like it's too hard to follow up.
Yeah, I thought Designer was talented.
He
Whether
is talented.
But he had a few good records after. They just weren't as big.
exactly.
I mean, but
And-
that's when you come out the gate with it's a gift and a curse of having a hit record, right?
but a hit record that's not in the genre that you really want to live
But
in.
how is that Designer though?
Yeah.
He stayed in his genre.
But that's what I'm saying. This is even more than Designer.
No, but
So that's what I'm saying. This is like an easy prediction.
Yeah, I mean, just having when you that's why I said the biggest thing about is if you can do it again. It's a lot of people that continuously make hit records, right? But it's a gift and a curse when you're a new artist and have a hit record because nobody knows you, they know the song.
Right.
I'm pretty sure like Lil Nas X could be walking down the block and everybody's not going to notice him, but they'll know his song.
Although
as of
he's
right
gotten
now.
memed so much that in his case, people might actually know him. Maybe,
I think,
maybe.
yeah,
I'm not
I mean,
sure.
but his song is definitely bigger than. I mean,
Yeah.
we know more about his song than we actually know who he is. It's
Right.
not like we've been watching his career for the past 3-4 years, and then he catches a record, right?
Yeah.
So he has this big, massive record, which, if he, as much as people love him, if he don't do the shit again, they gonna be like, oh, fuck it, you know, and it'll just be that one song.
Yeah.
So that's gonna see. That's what we're gonna see if talent, if hard work beats the talent.
Well, listen, I know ain't nobody talking about it right now, but listen, Billy Ray Cyrus got low-key diversity year.
Come on, all
that's-
right, let's
Everyday
keep it
Struggle
moving.
Awards 2019.
No, I'm
Can we
serious.
Are
keep
you
it moving
nominating
now?
him?
I'm
Yeah, can we keep it
serious.
moving
that
now?
nigga was.
Can
That
we keep
nigga
it moving now,
snapped.
please? Because now he's trolling.
Wait,
this
he
shit.
didn't snap?
Academics. We're not
I've
gonna do
heard
this today.
Wayno give props to worse verses than that.
Wayno,
What ver-
rate those
what-
bars.
Wait a second. What verses you ever heard me give a better?
Nigga, you
go ahead and
over
lie.
here give nigga. This
Go ahead and lie.
nigga,
Go ahead and lie. Look, you
No,
can't even
no.
get it out.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead and
getting
lie.
it out.
Go ahead and lie. Go ahead.
this nigga was over here acting like it was the most like complex thing when Travis Scott said he had the Remy and the papoose or whatever it was,
Oh my
nigga.
God.
Fuck out of
All
here.
right.
Billy Ray Cyrus had bars.
All
Stop
right,
playing,
y'all.
man.
All right, so we got an official nominee for Best Verse of
I'ma
the Year.
trip you
Everyday
when we
Struggle
walk into
Awards
the hall.
2019 coming in December.
You remember that though? You remember
Yeah,
that?
I did like what he said.
Last
Was
thought
off the
on
Remy,
him
He had a propose. Yeah.
before we go. So he's considering changing his name out of respect for Nas. Do people feel disrespected? I wondered about the name at first, but
No.
I don't think anyone cares.
I don't even think Nas would really. I don't think Nas would be like, no, that's kind of fucked up. I understand him saying that he would like to change it out of respect for Nas, but I don't think Nas would be tripping.
Word.
What's his real name? What's the kid's real name?
Uh.
If his real name is Nasir, I would. You better not change it. Like,
Okay. All right, enough Lil Nas X. Let's move
Right.
on now.
Move
That
on.
took a minute. Some music. So we're just gonna do some quick thoughts on this because everyone didn't have a chance to deep dive into the album, and Q deserves that much. But Schoolboy Q did release his 5th album, Crash Talk, this weekend. 14 songs, a lot of cool features, including Kid Cudi, Lil Baby, 21 Savage, Ty Dolla $ign, and much more. So I believe we'd gotten 2 singles before, right? Num Num Juice and Chopstick. So Wayne, I'm gonna let you give your thoughts first. Also, is this officially album 5 or 4? Because I feel like the first one, some people don't necessarily count it. Anyway, Crash Talk is
Yeah.
out. Wait, no, what do you think?
Crash Talk is out. I've only went through it one time because I was so fixated on movies this weekend and Game of Thrones and shit like that.
No spoilers, please.
No spoilers. But it's a solid effort. I think that, you know, after my man Akademiks gets in tune, whenever he does that, we could deep dive on
No, we
it a
can
little
talk about
bit
it
more.
tomorrow. I told you I don't fuck with them singles, man. Them singles, and I thought I was tweaking, but a lot of people said that.
You were actually tweaking, and they were tweaking along with you. But that's fine.
That shit with Travis Scott was.
Num Num Juice is fire. You did start saying that you came back around the corner to Num Num Juice.
Yeah, but not the one with Travis Scott.
All right, and that's fine. I mean, everybody's not gonna like everything, right? But it's definitely a solid effort, and we could give some more thoughts on
All
this
right, so
when
the deep
Akademiks
dive
gets
tomorrow,
in.
but congrats to Q. He also did a few interviews, of course, surrounding the album, and he gave Drake a lot of love. He's saying that Drake is definitely one of the greats, and he said basically a lot of outsiders offer their commentary on hip-hop, and they shouldn't. That's one of the major reasons that Aubrey does not get his proper talents. He said the dweebs are usually talking about this culture, which does not make sense. How are you saying somebody sold out when you don't even know what sold out is in this culture? Drake is one of the greats, period. I know no one here disagrees, especially academics. Yeah?
I thought it was the other way around in what he was saying, though.
What do you mean?
Like the reality. So he said it's the outsiders who usually like kind of diminish Drake's legacy.
Right.
I always felt like it was a lot of people in the culture. Shit, he went through the whole thing with Ghostwriting. There was a nigga in the culture who called him out. Then we had a bunch of legends who co-signed, oh, if you don't do these things, whatever. You get me? So I thought it was more of the hip hop culture changing. You know, it's a lot more like melodic, you know, how Drake gets down. And really people who are more traditional accepting that change or saying, nah, we don't fuck with it for whatever reason. I always thought like the outsiders, they just think Drake is the best thing ever.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like
I
Drake
kinda
is always on the receiving end of a lot of jokes, but when it comes down to it, does
When it
anyone
co-
question the music still?
Nah,
I
you
don't
can't.
think
Like,
so.
and even during our time off, I ain't gonna. You know what? I went back and I listened to. Nah. Nope, not Scorpion.
Look how
There you
excited
go.
he is.
Not Scorpion.
Oh,
But nah,
I'm about to hit him on the phone right now.
Nah, but I
Tell him I'll
went
block
back-
your ass.
Who cares? No, but I went back and I listened to If You're Reading This,
It's Too Late.
It's Too Late. And I ain't gonna front, like, to me, now I kind of moved that up along my, like,
Where was it before? That was fire
was like
since the
my
moment
third.
it dropped.
it was
a
like my
great
third,
tape.
but it's like, I ain't gonna front. It's like, to me, I kind of like it more than a lot of his albums. Just because just the sound that he had on that shit. You know what I mean? Just the sound that he had on it. I don't think it's ever a question of if Drake has ability. It's just that I think that Drake is still such a new idea because a lot of people, like, people consider Jay-Z greatest all the time, Nas greatest all the time, Pac, Biggie, Eminem. A lot of those spots don't ever move, right? And because we're still living in the now, and it's like Drake, we look up now, Drake is in 10 years. I think that a lot of people that came from the generation of when he started, they're not in the seats of media. You know what I mean? A lot of those people aren't in the seats, so they're not coining him as the next newest thing. I think he's still very new for a lot of people. Because a lot of people don't get up out of their seats that have strong opinions about him. And the ghostwriting shit kind of set him back, and because he sings. But when we talk about just rapping,
Yeah.
the nigga could rap.
Yep.
Now, him battle rapping, that's a different story. But the nigga could rap his
Do we
ass
need
off.
Drake to battle rap?
Nah, but I mean, I think that in order to be a great, you have to be tested, and he's won and he's lost. So I think that you can't question if he's a great. Because if you look at Jay-Z, it's the same shit. He's won a lot and he's lost as well too when it comes to battling. So I think that he's tested. Drake is definitely a legend.
Yeah, his
Wait,
consistency is definitely to be
that
respected.
win and that loss don't balance out. Though. It was like winning. It's like winning the NBA Finals and then losing in the first round the next time. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. But I will say though, like
The backhands.
no, on some real shit though, right? Because like, yo, his career was supposed to be done after that ghostwriting shit. That was like literally coming back from the impossible to kind of almost change the narrative through music, right? Of course the memes too. But with this shit with Pusha, like, I don't know, he just got bodied. So that was the first round exit. Get out of here. But I will say, when I hear sold out, as Q said, right? You usually hear that from purists, yo. I think one of the knock against Drake will be because he is Drake and he's that pop star, is that, you know, and it was a knock before Scorpion, like, yo, dog, you could be what we consider up there lyrically with like a Kendrick if you ain't sing that much, dog, like that's selling out. Like you're making those pop records.
Yeah.
Right? And again, he's just redefining like a whole new path.
I can't. That's why I get what Q is saying is like, how you gonna say somebody sold out when you don't even know what selling out is in this culture? I don't think that like that's selling out. I think that without Drake singing, you don't get like artists like A Boogies or PNB Rocks, you know what I mean? All these different artists that sing and rap, or Uzis to a certain extent, because he made it cool to kind of do that shit. Like every artist now every new artist you hear, they kind of more melodic than they are. I wouldn't say lyrical because you could add the lyrics into the melody, but they kind of have more melody than they do have. It's hard for me to explain it. Then they have bars, and I don't mean like context in their bars. I'm just saying like there's more singing, rapping than it is just straight rapping. And he changed how rap is viewed on so many levels, and he put on for a whole fucking country.
Yeah, I think as much as he gets critiqued and as many jokes as people like make, unquestionably he's gonna go down as one of the greatest.
Of course,
period.
easily.
Well, you see, I'm over this conversation. I'm ready for the conversation. Like just saying one of the greats that.
Wait, where he ranks in the greats?
Is he top 5 all time or what?
It might be too soon for the conversation.
Too soon?
Not for you, but for the purists he's talking about.
Like 10, 15. Like
He's 10 years. He's 10 solid years in.
My boy top 5. Come on
I was
now.
gonna say, shall we even ask where you would rank him?
My boy top 5, man.
Where in the top 5?
Overall, he top 5.
Where in your top 5?
He after Pac. Pac's the GOAT.
He's after Pac. First of all, Pac is your number 1.
Pac's the GOAT.
Oh, you're crazy.
No, I'm talking about overall hip hop. I'm not talking
Overall
about just,
hip-hop
I'm not
ever.
just talking about just rapping ability.
No, best rappers of all time.
Well, I just say
This
best
is gonna be its own
hip-hop
episode, by the way.
Right.
So you
Hip-hop
guys
artist.
get your quick thoughts off.
He's in there, of course. Jay's in there. Biggie's in there. And honestly, he's gonna get fourth or fifth. I'll throw even Kanye in there.
As a rapper?
Hip hop artist. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, hip hop artist. Okay.
So all your
Kanye is
contributions.
definitely one of the greatest artists of all time.
Like
yeah, but
a
rapper, I
top
don't
20
consider
hip hop
him a-
artist of all time, even though
Okay.
he's known a lot for
20 is
producer.
too much.
No,
And this shit always changes.
No,
It
no,
always
I'm
changes.
just trying to show the difference. Like, shit, you could probably make a argument that Dr. Dre is one of the top 20 hip hop artists. That's different than rappers.
Right.
To me. You get me? When we talk about rappers, now we actually got to put projects up against projects. Okay, how many classics you got? Like hip hop artists.
And that's
I'm
the
looking
reason
at
why, but I'm
influence,
telling you,
all
but
that.
that's the reason why he don't get added.
Drake?
Yeah, that's the reason why he don't get added, because it like him being an artist is undisputable. Like it's undisputable. You can't like nobody could question his artistry. It's undisputable. I'm talking about from just his influence to everything he's done. Now when you start like
rapping?
But that's what I'm saying. Like the way that Ak is making the fact, well, the way he's just explaining the fact is when you say rapping, then he like, oh, it's different. But
Nah, it is.
Okay.
No, no, I
but that's
understand
what. But that's why he doesn't get added to the shit with rappers.
Yeah,
but,
because of his top 5 rappers,
I wanna know where he
Nas
would be in that
100%
list.
is in there.
Okay.
Right? And then you start looking at people that have those bona fide rap classics, and then that's going to be a knock against Drake.
So Drake would
when
not
you
be in
think
your
about
top 5 if we're saying rappers. Kanye, of course not. No Drake
top
either.
5 rappers list.
many lists.
Is he in your top 10? And then we'll move on real quick. Top 10 rappers or not?
Top 10, I don't know.
Okay. All right,
But
we'll
he's
get back to
definitely top
this.
5
We're gonna
artists
do a
also.
top 5,
Man,
a
dog,
top
he's
5
not in
list
the top-
episode.
You
coming
don't
up.
think you think he in the top? You think he in the top 5 all time, but he not in the top 10 rappers?
As an artist?
No.
Like,
An artist, no. Top 10, or top 5 all time, but as a rapper, he not in the top 5.
as
But
a
he not even in the top 10.
I can't just cement him in there because there's so much different things I gotta
Nah,
weigh.
we making it so many different things.
No, I
We making it so many
gotta
different
weigh in,
things.
shit. I gotta weigh in the writing. I gotta weigh in all the songs. I gotta weigh in all the albums. It's a lot, and also there's been a lot of good rappers.
So
in
wait
there.
a
that's
minute,
too
wait a
much for
minute,
us to
wait.
go on. That's-
Before, you know what?
Yeah,
Forget
it's too
it.
much for us to go on.
It's
It's
too
too
much.
much.
It's gonna
It's
be a whole
Monday.
episode. We got jokes to get to, man.
We'll do
Oh,
an
I love you,
We
man.
got jokes to get to.
We know.
So before we get to the jokes, real quick, this judge is still like giving Meek such a hard time. So he got denied approval to visit Canada for the 76ers playoff game versus the Raptors. So Meek got the thumbs up from his probation officer, but Judge Denise Brinkley, of course, the judge who's been presiding over his case forever, denied him. So even the Philadelphia 76ers co-owner Michael Rubin defended him online, saying to the judge, I know you have a vendetta against Meek and are obsessed with trying to control every aspect of his life, but did you really not approve him to go rep the Sixers in Toronto for the game? As soon as the schedule came out, Meek asked probation for approval, and they said yes. And of course, Drake, who's the Raptors global ambassador, also got on Instagram and said they have to let him go. This judge is just ruthless.
Yo, the craziest thing about all of this is it just goes to show you not just I think that it plays into, you know, the whole case of Meek and all of that, but it also plays into him being a rapper, right? Because I'm pretty sure if Meek was like the manager of FedEx or some shit, and he was doing just as great doing that as he is a rapper, he wouldn't have been on probation as long. So I just think that it's like, it's crazy how his profession, I think that she holds his profession against him. She holds his profession against him because if we're talking about in terms of his crime, you know, what he was accused of, having a gun this, that, and the third, are we really not letting this man into a country to go watch a fucking basketball game because he's a threat?
At this point, after all the bad press she's gotten and the backlash, I'm sure she's just being a bit spiteful.
I mean, but for what though? Like, that's the end of the day. It's like, what is this? What is all of this for? He's been on probation for 11 years for a crime since 2008. If he hasn't shown change, now if it'd be one thing if he wasn't showing any change in his life and he wouldn't be the Meek Mill that we're talking about today. But not only has he showed change with, you know, his profession, but philanthropy, you know, giving back, all types of shit, and that's still not enough. Like, that's still not enough. And his probation is saying, yeah, he could go, and that's still not enough. Yeah, it's because of these fucking rules that was set in, I don't know, it's just a lot.
I think this is bigger than Meek Mill, to be honest. We have a judge who has seen the governor, seen all high-ranking officials basically talk bad about her, right, or co-sign Meek over her. So yeah, she's feeling a certain type of way. So I don't think it's necessarily about Meek at this point. Now, is he the person being affected? 100%. Also, I think low-key, she was probably setting that nigga up. What do you mean? The reason why is she didn't deny it. She ignored it, which means she didn't give an answer. She didn't say yes or no. So go ahead, nigga. Go watch your game. Again, and even if she denied it to say, hey, we don't see this as a valid work reason for Meek to travel, so we're not gonna grant it. That would be one thing. But to ignore it says that if Meek had gone, just like one of the reasons he got violated before, he went to I believe L.A. with Nicki to an award show, and of course you're all on TV. There's not much you need to prove there. The trip wasn't approved, right? And if the trip isn't approved, you have not violated. If Meek violates, she has more reason to say, this guy you guys are all going to bat for again, I did not specifically give orders, whether it was negligence on my part as the court, I didn't approve that request or denied. So again, I think that's why Michael Rubin took so much offense to say, hey, we sent a lawyer to the court to make sure you saw it. You literally intentionally ignored it, that we could be in this position where if he does go and leave the country, right? It's not even Canada saying don't come in.
Right.
It's literally the judge saying, if you leave, and I didn't tell you could leave, you're going back to jail or you could. So I think that was a setup move. It's sad that she's at this point, because I do think she's kind of in a place of limbo. I was really looking up the laws, or not laws, but like the procedures of how like judges get appointed of her stature, because she after this is career suicide. Like, you're going against all the high ranked officials. It definitely can't be over personal vendetta against Meek at this point.
Right.
At this point, you're trying to save face, you're trying to save yourself, and of course, you're still gonna stick it to Meek. But shit, if the next time you're up for, I don't think it's election, but she might be one of those elected people. The next time you're gonna be appointed, you're out of there.
Yeah.
You're not getting appointed back. They're having whole press conferences saying, this guy shouldn't be on probation, and you're the judge, the only person keeping him there.
Yeah.
Your lawyer or former lawyer was caught on tape basically saying, yeah, I'm gonna defend her in this defamation suit against Meek, but damn it, she got a vendetta against a nigga. Like, there's nothing that's going for this judge. So I think she's doing most of this to like try to save her own ass. So we'll see.
Okay, it's a good theory. All right, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we're almost out of time because we started late. So I know. So let's run through some quick hits quickly, like quick thoughts, because I know you want to get some of the jokes off before we go. Academics. Can we do Takeoff? So Gucci Mane was feeling inspired, right? So he recently hopped online to share a story about the first time he met the Migos, and he said after realizing that their chains were fake, he actually took the chains off of his neck and gave it to them because that's love. He also said that when Offset was locked up, he hit him up asking for some money to get out on bail. Anyway, Takeoff was not amused by this, so he quickly denied Gucci's claims in the comments, saying that's cap, you know that, but I'm so blessed, so we're gonna leave it at that. Thank you. Gucci Mane insists that he was telling the truth.
Boy, you cat. You ain't forgot.
Yo, listen, man. As much as niggas try to claim Gucci's a clone, man, you see the old Gucci rear his, I won't say ugly head. You see him be him. Again, Gucci Man, I never doubt Gucci Man with shit. Anytime Gucci Man say some shit, it's usually an ugly truth in the mix. Because this rap game is filled with lies and it's filled with a bunch of facades. So when Gucci say some shit, it's usually not the good or bad, it's usually the ugly. And it's usually the truth too. So again, I don't think, there's mad rappers wearing fake chains.
Is there any shame in this? At some point you gotta fake it till you make it or whatever, right?
But nobody will ever go back.
Their chains are obviously real now.
Yeah, only certain, I see some rappers, I give them a lot of credit, that go back and be like, I ain't gonna lie, I was wearing fake chains back then. A lot of these niggas, when they come in the game, you see them, y'all got fake chains. Like, it's cool. Y'all got the fake chains that just look realer than the other fake chains.
I think the thing is like, if Gucci Mane was feeling inspired and wanted to tell a story, why you had to tell a story to make them look crazy? Because that's the only thing. At the end of the day, I get what he was trying to say, but Takeoff is probably like, damn, nigga, you ain't have to tell
He should have been like, I spent that money on a house instead of a chain. It's all good.
Yeah, he could have done
now
that.
Now I can afford all of it.
I don't be knowing who's telling the truth with none of this shit anymore. For real.
I think a place that Gucci Man is in his life where he could admit to like the changes he's done, like to be a better person. Not everybody's gonna be like, yo, yeah, I was rocking fake chain. No, nigga, keep your story to you. I wasn't rocking no fake shit. Don't say that shit. So I can understand why Takeoff said that. But I think Takeoff was in this, like, the video he posted. But because I'm believing Gucci, that's an honorable move.
Thank you, Akademiks.
I hope Gucci got like some percentage in Migos contract on QC.
What? All right.
No, it's some real shit though.
Okay.
Like if you really think about it, Gucci really helped and founded a lot of those guys. Think about what he said for Offset, right? He did all that stuff and they end up signing with someone else. I'm just saying.
Okay. Maybe that's why he's telling the story. So real quick before we go, so Jay-Z hosted like a B-sides concert at Webster Hall this weekend. Iconic venue in New York, reopening, so Nas came out, but also he reunited with Cameron. That was definitely a moment. They actually performed together, which is really dope. I wasn't there, unfortunately. Did you go?
No, I wasn't there either.
All right, so we all missed it. But anyway, a big moment for New York.
Were y'all not there or were y'all not invited? I'm just trying to figure, because I know I ain't gonna get no invite. I wasn't even looking for it in the back.
You don't go
I was
anywhere
looking
even
like,
if
is
you get
that
invited.
Wayno in the back?
Honestly, I'm really surprised you
didn't attend,
you
but
weren't there.
that was an amazing like thing. Like
everyone else at Complex was there, by the way. My whole timeline was just Complex dudes tweeting and Instagramming about it. Yes.
Yeah, that shit was amazing though to see Cam and Jay like on the same stage together, you know, doing Welcome to New York City. They've never performed that record together. They probably never, Cameron don't even perform that record on his shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, that record was done so long ago and it was a moment. So for them to rehash that moment, of course, we all know that, you know, King of New York, where's Chancletas, that whole era when Cam was dissing Jay and then Jim dissing Jay and then to have, because Jim was on the stage too, to have Jim and Cam on the stage with him was dope. And then he had Nas come out. That was really dope. Like, it was really classy.
Yep.
I mean, it was really classy.
Hey, leave it to Jay to make some of the great iconic moments still. Number one, very nostalgic, right? But also that meant something. Clearly, he was trying to send a message. I'm glad that Jay isn't one of the old heads that do shit because he has to. He does shit because he wants to.
Right.
And he wants to make a moment and send a message. I like it.
Yep.
That was dope. And
even though I ain't get no win, now I want to win anyway.
You're so stupid.
He did what?
He also paid tribute to Nipsey.
Yeah, that was dope. That was very dope. He did freestyle over like some house and way, and talked about a lot of different things. That was dope.
We gonna talk about that gentrification shit though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Tomorrow on Everyday Struggle. Guys, thank you for tuning in.
We got one more topic?
No, we gotta go or else we
gotta go,
Look,
man.
our
We
new
gotta
time,
go.
12 p.m. is just because we want to be up on time. But hopefully you don't fuck that up today. I know Ak wants to keep talking. Sorry.
No,
We'll
I feel
see
like
you.
we owe them an hour.
See you guys tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.
Peace,
I tried.